Right, good morning.
Good morning.
Let's walk with our behinds back and back and back and back until we find the back of the chair. And now we're gonna walk forward, forward, forward. So you have to lift one side of the tush. And now we're gonna go backwards, backwards, backwards. And notice if it's easy or hard. And we're going to try to eventually make it a little bit easier. So you lift your hip and you take it forward. You lift your hip and you take it forward. You lift it and you take it forward. So we're going to call it a butt walk. So we're walking backwards. Notice if you are working with your shoulder as well, or it's... Are you moving your ribs? Rest for a minute. Take a breath. And let's walk again all the way forward until most of your thigh is off the chair. Most of your thigh is off the chair. So only the bones of the pelvis, of the hip, are on the edge of the chair. Go ahead and put your hands on above your knees and shift a little bit to your left. And notice how this side of the hip gets deeper towards the chair and this side comes a little bit up. Can you feel it? And come back to the center. Shh, please. And shift, lift the pelvis here on this side and lower and lift. Now stay with the weight on your left leg and on your left hip. So only the right hip will go down and up and down and up. Try not to bring your body up. Okay. Try to stay on the side, on your left side, and bring your right hip down and up and down and up. Do you need to lift your heel to do that? Can you work only with the hip without the foot?
It's hard.
It is hard, yeah. For some of us it's harder, for some of us we have more movement in the hip. And having movement in the hip is super important. And let's come to the center and shift the weight to your right side and back to center. And to your right side and back to center. And to your right side and stay. And now lower the hip and lift the hip and lower the hip and lift the hip and lower the hip and lift the hip, lower it and lift it, lower it and lift it. And feel how your ribs kind of stretch and shrink, contract, and open up and get shoulder, and open up and shoulder, and open up. And you can even put your hand and feel the space. No space, more space. No space, and center and relax. And now we're gonna go to your left and really lift the hip and go center and go to the other side and lift the hip. And center 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 and relax. Let's go to your left. And now don't do anything with this hip right now. Just bring your head closer to your shoulder and back to center, which is diagonal. And tilt your head and back to center. And tilt your head and back to center. So now when you bring your head to center, lower your right hip and come to your left leg, tilt your head, and when you come back, lower the hip. Tilt to the left, lift the right hip, tilt your head, and when you come back, and tilt, lift the hip, and now keep the head here as you are lowering the hip down. Keep the head tilted as you lower. And lift the hip with the head tilted. So you're looking at the word cockeyed on the side, and lower the hip. Don't bring the head. And lift the hip and lower the hip. And put your hand on your ribs and feel how they're helping with the movement. Lift them up as you lift the hip, and now when you lower the hip, even more stretching in those ribs. And lift the hip, and when you lower the hip, the ribs stretch even more. Now bring the head to the center. And rest. Small movement, but it's not easy. No. And let's go to the other side. So you're shifting your weight to your right. Lift the hip and lower the hip. See if you can do it maybe without the help of the heel. So just a little bit of lift and a little bit of lowering, and a little bit of lift and a little bit of lowering. And now come to the center. And bless you. Shift to your right and tilt your head. And come back and bring the head with you. And tilt the head. And come back. And tilt the head. And lift the hip. And bring the head back and lower the hip. And tilt the head and lift the hip. Your left one. And the head goes to the right. The head. And back. And so even though we're doing movements, the work is up here in the head. We're tilting the head, the hip goes up, and we're coming back. We're tilting to the left, to your right, and the hip comes up, and we're coming back. And now we're gonna tilt. And when you're coming back, lower the pelvis and don't bring your head. And lift the hip, and lower the hip. So now you're working on the space between the hip bone, the ilium bone, and your ribs. So you're lifting this hip. Now stay with the head tilted, and now lower the hip down. And lift the hip. Try not to move. You're still hanging down. So your earring, if you have one, is vertical to the floor, and the hip goes down. Don't come back, don't come back. Stay there. Only the hip up and the hip down. Very good. And hip up and hip down. And one more time, hip up, hip down. And this is the last time, hip up, and everything comes back. And take a deep breath. And let it go. Pop, pop. This one is just the heels, the heels, the heels. Heels and heels, and heels, and heels, and heels, and heels. This is for the lymph system. Pump, 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 pump. Another deep breath in and blow. And again, inhale and lift your shoulders up and blow. Slowly, 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 as you're lowering your shoulders down. And inhale up, shoulders up, and blow slowly. And one more time, inhale up. And down. So if I were making chairs, I would not make chairs that look like this. I will make chairs that tilt a little bit, so there's a little bit of a lift in the back and the hip goes down, so the angle is better angle. So since there's no chairs that I designed yet, let's walk back with the hip. We're doing a butt walk. We're lifting each side and we're walking back, 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 back. And now we're gonna walk forward, forward. See if it's a little easier than what we did 10 minutes ago when we started the class. And let's walk back, 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 and forward, forward. The feet are not moving, it's the hip that's doing the walking. Let's do it one more time. Walking backwards. And the next time when we go forward, we're gonna go so far forward that the whole thigh will be outside of the chair. Only the hip bones will be on the chair. Ready? Walk, walk, lift the hip, lift it, roll it forward until most of your thigh is off the chair. This is the chair I like. All right, put your hands on your thighs and actually put it on your hip. And these bones in the front, they have a name, ASIS. We're gonna push them back to round the hip. And now we're gonna push the fingers from the back to lift it up. And we're gonna push the thumb up to round it back. And we're gonna push the fingers to lift it up. We're gonna give it a signal by pushing the thumb and rounding the hip. And we're gonna push the fingers in the back to lift our hip up. Now, some of us are doing it with our chest. I'm talking about only the hip. So the fingers will, the thumb will push the hip to round. And the fingers from the back will push the hip to come up. Beautiful. And push down. And now I'm gonna offer you to find your own rhythm. Do it with your breathing. When you exhale, going round. When you inhale, coming up. When you exhale, going down and back. And when you inhale, coming up. And notice what happens to your eyes. Maybe when you exhale and you're round, your eyes go down towards the floor. And when you push with the fingers and the pelvis comes up, your eyes will come and look straight forward to the horizon, your horizon. And rounding and lifting the hip. And rounding. You may feel it, you probably would feel it much better if you'll take a chance to put your pelvis all the way to the end of the chair. So the sitting bone, the bones here are on the edge and the feet are really supporting you. It's pretty safe. And now we're gonna make it a little bit harder. We're gonna slide our hands forward. We're gonna hook the fingers underneath the kneecap, the patella. And we're gonna do the same thing with this structure. So now we have a structure that makes it a little harder. So exhale and stretch the area in where your belt is, around your hip. And now push the fingers underneath the patella and lift the pelvis. Now we don't have the fingers to guide us. We are moving inside this triangle. Exhale, looking down towards your belly button or in between your legs. Press the feet into the floor. Press the fingers into the bones of the knee and come up. And do it in your own timing. As you exhale, round You can exhale through your nose or through your mouth, choice. Inhale through your nose though. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale, rounding, not the shoulders, rounding your lower back. Your lower back. And inhale. Your upper back is still quiet. It's rounding a little bit, but don't do this. Just round down here and come up and feel how the vertebra where the belt is, there are 5 vertebrae, they are getting longer as you go back and they get shorter as you come up. And stay up, beautiful. And put your hands and hold the chair, just for safety. Shift your weight to your left, and shift your weight to your right. And seesaw, and seesaw, and seesaw. Now it's becoming a little easier, isn't it? Remember the beginning of the class? Only 15 minutes ago. Nothing moved. And now those hips are going dancing. What was the name of the dance you said?
Merengue.
Merengue, okay. And tam ta ta tam, tam ta ta tam, tam ta ta tam, tam tam tam. Good. Put our hands in the front. You can interlace your fingers. Now open the fingers and look which fingers is on top, and now change so the other hand, the finger is on top. And open and change again. And open and change again. Why am I doing it? Because the picture in the brain is the same, but we have habits. And the one that you did first is your habitual one, is what your habit is. And this is the non-habitual one. So I'm playing with your brain a little bit, and mine too. And change, and change, and change, and change. The one thumb is above and the other thumb is above, and all the fingers are. And teach your hands to do what you want. You are going to be the rider for the horse, not the horse riding you. Good. All right, and stay in the non-habitual way. Inhale, lift your arms until the place where it's comfortable. Don't push where there is pain. Don't push where there is pain, please. Don't push. We're not stretching right now. In this position, bend your elbow and lean to your left. Come back, lean your elbow and bend and shift to the right. And left and right. Don't lift your heels. It has nothing to do with the heels. And it's the hip. Good. And hip and hip and hip. So now the seesaw is involving the ribs and your upper back. Keep on moving the pelvis, the hip. Lift, lift, seesaw. Doesn't have to be big. Keep moving that hip. Up, up, elbow, 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 and relax. Let go. Close your eyes for a minute. And in your mind's eye, with your eyes closed, if you feel comfortable doing that, just see in your mind's eye how we shifted the weight from right to left, from left to right, lifting the pelvis, lowering the pelvis, tilting the neck and the head, tilting, allowing the ribs to move, adding the arms, and then open your eyes. And lift your arms, inhale, flip and exhale. do a s when we exhale. So I'd like to hear you. And inhale. And really slow. Put your teeth together and don't be bashful. And inhale. Sipping the exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And one more. Inhale. And slowly, 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 slowly. All right. And inhale up. And see if you can touch your hands. And as you are tilting to your left, bring the left hand down and down and down and down and down and catch the chair. Where's the chair? Good. Slide the hand down on the chair and lift this arm, your right arm up, and lower the hand down on the chair and lift the other arm up, 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 so you're stretching between your ribs. And down and lift the arm up. And now glide up and up and up and up and up and up and rest. And lift your arms up. Can you put your phone on silence, maybe? And now we're gonna go to the other side. So the arm will come down, find the chair on your right side, hold the chair on the right side, and slide the arm down a little bit to where it's safe. And now take your left arm and pull it up. Open those ribs and slide the hand a little bit further. Relax your head. And lift your left arm. Lift the left arm and open the ribs on that side. Give it a stretch. Now it's time to stretch. And lower down. And lift the arm. And one more time, go down a little bit. And lift the arm and slide up and slide up and slide up. Relax. Take a breath. Equalize both sides. And now we're going to do it more freely. So bring your arms up. So no more structure, no more stretching. We're just going to open it up and allow the arms to be mid-air. Pull one arm up and one arm down without touching the chair. And come back to center. And lift both arms up. Lowering the arm, going to the other side, your right. And stretch one arm down and one arm up. Heaven and earth. Reach. And come back to center. Let's do it again from both sides. Lift your arms up, inhale deeply. And reach down and reach up. And now turn your head up to the heavens. And look up and stretch the arm up, but keep on reaching with the other arm down, 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 down. And then release and come back to center. And then inhale back up. Go to the right side and turn your head up. Look at the arm that's up and stretch both of them in both directions. And release and come back to the center. Take a deep breath in. And we're going to do staccato. Inhale. Force it out. Inhale. Pretend you're angry at something. Yeah, like get out, get out, get out. Or, you know, like a cockroach. Inhale. Good. Inhale. Sounds weird maybe, but it's good for you. Using the lungs in different ways in the breath is very useful. All right, one thing for the day. Inhale up. Interlace the fingers. Now change it to the non-habitual way. Put it behind your head. Keep the elbows open and round the head down without, so now the head is going away from the arm. And bring the head back to the arm. And lower the head forward, away from the arms, from the hands. And lift the head up. And one more time, lower the head forward. And lift the head back to the arms. Lift the arms up, 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 up. Make little circles above your head. So now the ribs are moving all the way up where your armpits is. That's how up high the ribs go. Actually, the ribs go all the way up to the clavicle to here. So they're really high up. And now change the direction of the circle. And relax the arm. And start moving again through the seesaw of the pelvis and see if it's becoming easier because we worked so much with the ribs. We worked with the ribs on the lower part, in the middle part, and all the way to the top. So see if you can feel the ribs changing the contour from concave to convex as you are going seesawing. From side to side, side to side. So yes, the hip is moving, but it's moving easier because of the work that we have done with the ribs. So come back to the center. Put your arms, palms up, and pretend you have a little ball in the center of your hand. And you're trying to make the ball lighter and lighter and lighter, but still feel it. And take another deep breath in as you are dissolving that ball. And slowly open your eyes. And I thank you very much. And I hope to see you next week, Wednesday at 10.